What is the null effect, what are its uses, and how will it teach you everything you need to know about phase cancellation? Let's go!
I'm going to demonstrate this in its most basic essence. So here's a sine wave. And here's another sine wave. Now on the second sine wave, I have a utility here that I'm about to turn on. On this utility, the left and right channels have their polarities flipped. Ooh, nothing. As you can see, there's still signal coming through both channels, but nothing on the master.
This is called the null effect, but why does it happen?
As you can see by my super scientific drawing here, this is the relationship between the two sine waves at first, where they were adding together, or completely in phase. When I flip the polarity of the second wave, it essentially flips the waveform itself, so that what was a peak is now a valley, and what was valley is now a peak. So the relationship between these two sine waves now is directly out of phase.
If you were to slow way down the motion of a speaker cone while playing back one of these sine waves, the speaker cone is following the exact motions of that sine wave. The same goes for a saw wave, square wave, and others. So essentially, when we have two waves that are exactly out of phase, we're telling the speaker cone to do two opposite things at once, essentially resulting in a null.
Now the null effect can be broken in three different ways. Either making slight time adjustments to one of the wave. Now this is being done in milliseconds, in which case it's putting that second wave slightly more in phase with the first, making volume adjustments, or making just a change to the second wave itself. In this case, I'm introducing a saw wave. In which case, we're hearing the delta, or what's known as the difference between these two waves.
Now this should give us a keen insight into the applications of the null effect. The obvious applications are for things like phase cancellation to avoid phase cancellation with things like drums. Like a snare drum, a top and bottom mic for a snare drum might need the polarity flipped on one of the mics to have the best sound. This is because the same waveform coming off that snare is reaching those microphones at potentially different intervals and causing slight phase cancellation. But a deeper application of the null effect is to extract things like vocals. So if you have an instrumental version of a track and the live version of the track, you can pull them in, reverse the polarity of one, and that's going to extract the difference, or the delta, in this case being the vocals. I recently had a client come to me where the vocals and the guitar were in the same track, and they weren't able to separate them. However, they just had the guitar track. And so I was able to pull the guitar track and the guitar and the vocals in, reverse the polarity, and extract just the vocals. Fun fact, this is how noise cancellation works in headphones. There's usually a microphone that reads the ambient noise outside of the headphones, and then a feature that flips the polarity of that wave, canceling the noise outside. I hope you're enjoying these deeper and more advanced tricks and trades for music production and sound design. If you're digging them, give a like and comment below. Hope you guys are doing well. What is the null effect?